Hello there, Alan here. A lot of Conqueror's blade comes down to timing, to know when to advance, to know when to retreat, and to know what to do and when to do it. These timings depend on so many factors that rarely come clearly in the chaos that's the battlefield. Other than observing the essential details presented to us, we all have an instinctual understanding of what the flow of the battle is, so we follow our instincts that are not necessarily correct every game. This understanding of the flow of course improves with more experience and knowledge about the game, but let me try to explain my thought processes so you can refine your instincts, or even identify what I consider important and learn a thing or two from my gameplay. May I present to you one near perfect game where I use Season 8 units to get triple the number of unit kills compared to the next best player on my team. Let's get into the gameplay. So on this Viking map, when you attack from A point, you want to take the right side to set up a beachhead first, before going into the A point. As you can see, there's two enemy heroes and units guarding this area. I first wanted to take out the garrisons, but they quickly retreated and my allies took upon their duty to take it out. Here I just used my garrisons to take out these peasant pike units. Whereas I'm aiming to use my units to kill the mall, someone with ranged either heroes or units took him out before I could. Anyway, I guard the gate and check on what the point is like right now. On the right there's a Pavis unit, and on the left, as usual, there's a bunker of units protecting point. So usually I take out my cannon or my mortar to try to take out the ranged units on the left, so we could slowly progress into A point. But because the enemy has mortars and a cannon unit taking out anything that I have, I'm not gonna place the cannon down. Instead I'm going to the point. Apparently my allies have also set up their own cannons and basically disabled the left garrison on the left side, so we can now enter A point. A dual blades tried to snatch onto me using his ult, but I followed with my own dodge and he completely missed and got grabbed by a maul. And hey, perfect timing on my part and on my allies' part. So that's very good. We're taking over A point and the enemy has basically no retaliation. Half is because we used our cannons to disable their left side, so they didn't have encampment to protect their point with, but more so because our entire team has come to A point and rushed this place down. So one thing to point out, if you look at my Grayhair garrisons right now, like 1/3 of them are on very low health. Usually I would want to retreat and heal them up, but apparently because of their passive skill of healing on hits, which is a massive 10%, I go in to slaughter the weak enemy units while healing my own garrisons, while picking up 60 kills. Very easy, very simple. Basically no loss and all gains. My allies are thinking about going to C point or going to the right side of the map. I'm thinking differently. I'm gonna follow these berserkers and try to capture B and then go to supply point, either one of the two. So now that I see B is being captured completely, I'm gonna capture this supply point. If you're not a longsword player, you would likely just rush in headfirst and destroy this band of enemy units. But me, because I am a longsword, I slowly wait for my own units to pop up before I actually get closer to the enemy, because I don't want to get myself killed and get myself into a very bad situation. But now that we do have the point captured, I'm gonna take out my MoDao and see what I can do. So the current situation is, half my allied team have went to the right side of the map and tried to take on the enemy main forces. They have failed, and are fighting some skirmishes on the right side of the map, basically becoming a decoy for my units right now, and our flank on the left. So we go in, I take out the enemy Silidar units with my MoDao, quite easily actually with the charge skill, and then I brace back down, and I wait for my allies to take out the rest of their units. Now, onto C point. If you look at the minimap, the enemy is still very much a very big threat. They're all gathering up on the right side of C point. For me, I'm thinking before they could come and stop our capture, I'm gonna quickly go in and take out the staggerers, because they are positioned badly and we have the numbers advantage, at least for now, so that we could grow our advantage. So the enemy is thinking about returning to C point. I can see that they have a lot of units above and waiting to come down. But because I have my MoDao and because my ally have their units prepared to engage, they are kind of stuck in a very bad position. They want to come down, but they can't really. So in their confusion, half their team goes back to their home point, while the other half of the team are stuck between our main forces, the one coming from C point and the other one coming from the other side. This makes some interesting turn of events. So first of all, our team took out 2 or 3 heroes when they were retreating, but on our side, a few heroes tried to go to point too early and they also lost their lives. So now we're both down 3 heroes each. So it really is up to us whether we could rush into home point at the same time. But as you can see, this is not really the case. I have my MoDao and get them healed up and I run and rush to base. But as I get there, you can see my allies are already fighting the fight. Even with a numbers disadvantage, was the enemy all prepared to defend. So as I come in, I'm actually quite amazed how my allies hold up on the point and how few the enemy were around. But I expected them to make up a strong defense before me and my allies would show up right now. So here is a good chance. While the enemy unit of palace guards seek to go behind my allies, I go in with my MoDao and use a charge to deflect and destroy them completely. Now, I use the brace and use my 2 skill to go in and slowly take out the enemy that's coming in. And with the help of some stalwart units that came in to protect my MoDao, I could hold the line and completely decimate the enemy front lines, because with such a strong stalwart defense, my MoDao could comfortably deal damage in safety. But as you see, even though me and this stalwart unit defended the right side, on the left side the enemy set up base and had enough ranged units to completely decimate my allied units, making this battle a very difficult one now that the enemy has prepared their defense. On the other hand, if you look at how much we've actually stepped in and contributed to the point, we've actually almost completely captured their home base, so it only takes 1 more second. Unfortunately, before that happened and I could see the end result, I was grabbed by a mole from the side of the screen, which I did not expect, and I died to it. So as you see, we have 7 minutes and a half to capture for 1 or 2 more seconds and we can win. This much should be very easy. But sadly, my team right now is being trampled by the enemy horsemen, and we don't have any MoDao units to stop their advance. So Season 8 is a very interesting season this time, because the 2 new units, the MoDao and the Grayhair garrisons, are very strong units. One being a very good tank with immunity to stun, and the other one being a complete counter to Cav, making the Cav meta slowly die out, at least on the Frontier server. And with the increased drop rate of the leadership doctrine, the game has changed quite a lot this past few days and weeks since the release of Season 8. So, with my Grayhair garrisons, I think with my ally support I could go around and do a flank and set up a front line and maybe kill a few more units on the way. But I overestimated my allies' potency and the enemy were all aimed at my units. So even with the high immunity to crowd control that the garrisons have, I could not delete 4 enemy heroes which gathered up to kill my garrisons, especially for the Brachio pikes. The reach is so long that I couldn't actually counter attack using my own units. So with that, my entire unit of garrisons were destroyed. And now it's really up to my ally and my last unit, my Javelin Sergeants, which were just enough leadership that they could fit into my current warband. But as you shall see, I won't be really using them this game because the enemy only has 2 more seconds to protect, and we only do need 2 more seconds to hold on to the base and we win. And that is a very easy task. As you can see, it's almost there. And the only thing that's blocking our way is our heroes and their heroes fighting each other and dueling each other out on the ring. And with only 2 javelin throws, the game finishes. So, in this game, I got 185 kills, with the second best player having only 60 kills. I had almost 3 times as much kills as him. And compared to the enemy team, I've also got that much more kills than them. My MoDao battalion killed 90 units, Grayhair garrison 68. And all in all, this was a very good game with 1,200 unit kill score. And that's it. I hope you learned how to use timing right, and maybe you learned a thing or two to implement in your own game. This was Alan. Like and subscribe as usual. And thanks for watching. Alan out.